The furin swayed in the morning breeze, producing a gentle tinkling sound. Kiyomi Oshiro smiled at the glass wind bell. She would have waited until summer to hang the furin, but I insisted they put it out early. For once, Kiyomi was glad she gave in to the whims of her 8-year-old daughter. The pleasant chiming took her mind off the war. Kiyomi draped the last of the family's futons over the veranda railing. The white bedding sagged, as if they were yurei, the ghosts exhausted after a night of hunting. She held little hope that the futons would be fresh when she arrived home from the factory. Yellow dust rose from Kakomachi, where mobilized students worked to tear down houses and create fire breaks near the prefectural government offices. The sight sickened her, as did the dirty stench and taste of grit on her tongue. 2 kites flew in from the distant blue hills. The hunters fluttered over the city with cries of "Pi yoro yoro! Pi yoro yoro!" The shadows of the kites passed across the shoji paper, and Kiyomi remembered an old proverb. When the shadow of a bird falls upon the sliding paper door, guests will come. Ai emerged from the doma in her socks. She carried her geita in one hand, her canvas emergency supply bag in the other hand. Before Kiyomi could scold her, Ai spun around and shouted into the house, "I am going!" I faced her with a sheepish grin. "So sorry, Mama." "Let me guess. You're running late because of your grandparents?" Blood rushed into Ai's cheeks, turning them a soft pink. Kiyomi couldn't help but smile as she stared into the dark, trusting eyes of her daughter. She longed to reach out and pull Ai against her, to feel her heartbeat and warm breath, to smell the flowery scent of her velvet hair, to hold on forever. "Do you intend to spend the day in your socks?" "Please forgive my mistake." I dropped the geita onto the veranda with a thud, slipped them on, then straightened like a soldier coming to attention. "I'm ready." Kiyomi's jaw clenched as she inspected her daughter. I should be wearing a sailor suit to school, not baggy gray monpei and wooden clogs. The war turned them all into peasants. She brushed a hand over the small wooden plate attached to Ai's sash, engraved with Ai's name and address, to help authorities find Kiyomi in case they became separated during an air raid. "Do you have your first aid supplies?" I held up her emergency bag, packed and ready. "And your padded hood?" I gazed at her sandals. "At school?" "You forgot to bring it home? What would happen if Mr. B returned to drop bombs? Your head needs protection." "Please forgive my carelessness." I looked up, her eyes seeking compassion. "You're apologizing a great deal this morning." She held out her hand. "Come along.